Good afternoon and welcome, folks. A Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock kickoff time between 1860 Munich and VfL Osnabrück. So, might as well start with the tables, the placements, the standings, all of those good things. It's a battle between 4 and 5 out of the 20-team third division. Cut that down to 19 after TSV München withdrew from the competition. And that caused a bit of troubles in terms of games played because all of those matches were cancelled out. So teams that beat them twice lost 6 points in the standings, or if you lost to them, you didn't lose anything at all. But with 19 teams remaining and 5 games to go, there's still a chance to reach the top 3. The top spot is pretty much out of reach. Well, numerically, it practically is. At the moment, FC Magdeburg sit at the top with 66 points. Munich sit in 4th with 52, and Osnabrück right behind them in 5th with 51. So with 5 games to go, it would take, well, winning all of those games along with this one for that total point number to get above 66. But that would also rely on Magdeburg dropping every single one of their remaining games, which, with the form that they've had this season, does not seem likely. So a top 2 finish is what, or top 3 finish rather, in the second and third spots are what these two sides are really looking for. And that would require FCK, who sit in second at 60, to have a few tumbles, along with Eintracht Braunschweig, who sit right behind them in third spot with 58. So there is still that 6 and 7 point margin between third and fourth and fifth. And it starts with 3 big points here this afternoon. Now in terms of recent form, might as well start with the visitors from Osnabrück. They prevailed 3-2 over VfL in their last game. That came 5 days ago. Recent history in terms of the last 5 games has been 3 wins, a draw, and a loss, so not too shabby. It certainly helped them propel themselves up into the top spots of this third division. Loss coming to one of the top 2 teams, FC Kaiserslautern. It's only a 1-0 loss. It's not too tragic. Certainly built upon that with the next 4 games. And that draw against Eintracht Braunschweig just a couple weeks ago on the 26th was massive. Come out of that game with the full 3 points, that changes the table massively. As a result, it's still a 2-game differential. Braunschweig do also play today, same kickoff time. They'll be playing against the Würzburger Kickers. On a little bit of a side note, should be a full 3 points for Eintracht. Würzburg sit in 18th out of the 20 teams, again with the 20th spot being nullified. So if you want to keep pace with them, you need to get a win here today. And that is exactly what should be on the cards today. I highly doubt we'll see either of these sides content with playing for a draw. In terms of the home side, it's been the same past 5 games, albeit in a different jumbled up fashion. 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. Last match coming away with a 2-1 victory against Freiburg. Loss coming to Waldhof Mannheim, which was a bit of a shocker. Although Waldhof do find themselves in the top 10, I would have thought that it would have been a better result for the home side. It's a pretty tightly contested top 7, so to speak, or top 5 rather. Waldhof sitting in 7th spot with 50 points. Saarbrücken right ahead of them in 6th with 51, and then of course Osnabrück and München coming up with the 5 and 4 spots. Not much separating there. So you can really swing from 4th all the way down to practically 8th, given some results for SV Wehen. Now statistically, it should be a rather even game, not just based on the table standings and how these teams have performed over the season, but general history as well. Games are practically split down the middle. And of course, the most important part, statistically, we should see a few goals in this one. Munich managed to score at least one goal practically every game. And in over half of their games, they score 2 goals. The final number is about 55%. And the same rings true for the visitors from Osnabrück as well. The last time these two met was last year. Beginning of the season. It was a 3-1 win for Osnabrück in that game. Osnabrück actually having the upper hand in the last 2 meetings. Previous to this season, it was back in 2019, so we'll have to go back a few years. A few different names on each side of the roster, of course. One of the points to running up in this game is the lack of the head man in charge for 1860. Manager was given a couple yellows, so he misses this one. His backup man, so to speak, Gunther Brandl, will be on the sidelines today. Daniel Schering on the other side. Manager Koller believes that his side can do well as we get our first opportunity. And it was there. The captain almost got himself an opportunity. Decent ball in from Opoku, but perhaps a bit too much gas on it. Tough to control that one in a meaningful way. Equal to Koller. Line of Trapp, Guganik, Kuhn in net. Klein Hansel and Chare will be the wing backs. Koller, Klaassen, Kunzefel out the 3 in the middle. Fiegel, Haider and Opoku taking up the front 3 for Osnabrück this afternoon. Opoku can't make anything happen, but does win the throw. So 4-3-3 fielded, at least for now, for the visitors. The home side opting for a 4-1-4-1. At least that's what they have initially come out with. We'll see how that adapts over the course of the game. Massaber, the home striker, supported by the 4 in midfield behind him, with Mo providing that facilitating role between defense and the attacking portion of the pitch. 5 in white and blue should have plenty of work to do. Could have placed that one a bit further away from the midfield, but it's just how things go at times. There's Brando. Certainly very vocal already. As Opoku wins the ball, ultimately loses it. Played on. Now no advantage. Just a clean challenge, and up we go the other way. Biancardi, wonderful ball in. Can they find a shot? Not this time around. Poked away in the nick of time. Kunta as the lines are cleared and formations reset. Solid work from Biancardi to get into the box there. I mentioned that it was a pretty even match history between these two. Their last 10 meetings in over quite a few years. Munich have won 3, 4 draws, and Osnabrück have also won 3 games. The only part that isn't quite even is goal difference, in which Osnabrück have the advantage over those 10 meetings. As we get our first quality opportunity from distance, had a bit of dip to it, and that follow-up is nowhere close. That's what you need. Biancardi with the delivery, or attempted delivery at that. Kuhn may have been able to hold on to that. Fortunately for him and his side, it didn't come back to haunt them. Hopefully a juicy rebound to follow up on. Opoku creates some space for himself. Wanted to move quickly with Haider, but the two couldn't quite connect. In terms of scoring to watch out for, Haider is one of them. He has 10 goals so far for Osnabrück, their top scorer, whereas it's Mazepin on the other side of things with 14 for 1860 Munich. Aaron Opoku is the one that usually provides him with the pass to score. He's got 11 assists so far on the season. A decent ball in, but just a little bit too close to the keeper. Usually a sign of playing away from home is difficulty in scoring. But that has not been a trend for Osnabrück this season. In the 15 games they've played away from home, this one number 16, they failed to concede only twice. Build up for the visitors. Playing with patience in these games is of the highest importance. Nothing less than 3 points will be acceptable for either manager and the club. So although it is improbable to a certain extent, it is not impossible to reach the top 3. Of course, with those top 3 spots is an opportunity to advance into the second division. Really taking their time here. Munich do play a bit of a high line, trying to play it directly past those pressuring forwards coming up is a bit risky at times. A wonderful ball in. Not sure if he was offside, but it was wonderfully played. Seems that it was a solid run from Talik, just couldn't bring it down to himself cleanly. Rolled up off of his chest rather than plopped down. Unfortunate. And so far it's been the home side with the more dangerous opportunities. See if the patient game pays off for Osnabrück. So far, they haven't really been able to move out of their own end cleanly. Seems as if they're taking too much time to wait for the lines to stretch out a little bit. He seems to be doing a bit better. Traore up to Opoku. Sounds so there, but the two can't make it work. Sliding challenge, that's going to earn a card. And the captain Lex will be the first man booked in this afternoon's match. Bit of a reckless challenge there, mistimed. Without a doubt. That's a decent enough spot for a free kick. Likelihood a set piece coming on. A bit low. I was aiming for Klaas, it looked like. Or Traore, rather. Up the other way we go, though. Neudeka, the delivery in the box, and that's defended away with style. Not sure if it was Trapp. Guganig, this one is rifled back out by Kuhn. The side have an opportunity to slow things down here in the midfield, and they'll do just that, going all the way back to the keeper. Greilinger to toss things in. So again, both of these teams have 5 games remaining after this matchup. So 18 points are on the table in theory. Winning 5 in a row at any level is quite a feat, let alone in what has been a tightly contested top of the table to a certain extent. The remaining schedule well, on paper it's a bit easier for Osnabrück, although they do have to face Magdeburg on the final day. Biancardi, can he chip it? Yes, but offside. Wonderful flick over, to be fair. Must not have been off the line too far. But it seems as if this left wing will be the targeted area of attack for the Lions from Munich. Both sides do play Magdeburg, of course, in the remaining schedule. Munich get them the week before Osnabrück do. It'll be a very determining match to see how things end up. Of course, the last match of the season always has something riding on it. Ultimately, though, it should be a thrilling finish. Just a little over a month to go before all the standings are set in stone. But for now, Opoko through the middle, and nobody can get anything onto it. Wonderful delivery. A failed opportunity in the end. Stepped into that one as well. Solid delivery. Keeper was beat. If anybody was there, that was our opener. Oh, very poorly cleared. This could be the opportunity. Played just a bit too far ahead of Opoku. He wanted to cut in, and the pass went out. Traore. Kunze. Triangle played along the wing here. Wonderfully cut out there from Moll. Timely defending from, officially will be labeled as a defensive midfielding position so far from Moll. Enough contact for a whistle. Well, this game has gone pretty freely so far. Only a couple stoppages. Once again from Kuhn, the long distance strike this time, and well, hasn't really paid off so far, but all you need is one opportunity in all fairness. Either way, up the wing we go. Higo. Still going, Higo. Kunze can't pull the trigger. Too many legs in the way. Higo once again. Tig is there to intercept. Nobody really there in support. Now up the other way we go. Biancardi. Biancardi plays it up for Bea. Bea with the finish, and he can't get it to go through. Off the bar and out. Well, if the men were switched, Biancardi seems to have the form with that chip today. But a wonderful ball to get around the defender. And then to find Bea in stride as well. Gets him in a glorious opportunity and just a bit too much under that. The idea was top class. He really had no better option there other than to perhaps try and fake the shot and go around and outstretch Kuhn, but he took that without hesitation, as you must, and it just barely falls on the wrong side of the bar. A few centimeters the other way, might have had a chance. But there has been some flow to this match so far. Great to see. Poku. Trouten out along the wing. Low delivery into the box. Not sure what he saw there. But it still ends up in friendly feet. As this one's going to be blocked away. Higo, his delivery in towards the middle. Follow-up chance. It's tapped in, and that's our opener. The captain, Haider, is there, and a timely moment. Not the prettiest goal he'll ever score, but it doesn't matter. It's a 1-0 lead for Osnabrück. And that nil will loom largely over the home side. Oh, pretty close. Pretty close from that angle. Looks like he just might be behind the final defender. Fortunate bounce there off the defender. I believe that was Neudecker who got the last bit of it. In Munich uniform. I mentioned he was someone to look out for, Haider. That's goal number 11 for him on the season. Already leading the way for his side. He adds another one to his total. Bea had an opportunity to extend his team scoring lead. That was denied by the keeper's best friend, or one of the three best friends he's got. Very fortunate getting away with a bit of a blunder. Certainly could have ended up in fouler opportunities. The foul will stop all of that in its tracks. An opportunity to get things back in their swing of the momentum, so to speak. Neudecker dispossessed by Klaas. Poor pass for intended to clear the lines, does not work, and now Opoku, a chance for number 2, and he's denied. Not sure if Hiller actually got a bit of that, or if that was the defender coming to the rescue. As we look at the goal once again, it's pretty close. Looks like he very well could be between the keeper and the last defender there. But no flag. You can really see it there. Not behind the keeper, that's for sure, but definitely behind the defender. Decent enough delivery. That one's almost bobbled over the line. Oof. Baboof. Things are getting a bit spicy here in the Munich side of the pitch. Giving up the goal just a few moments ago and presenting opportunities for them to, or for Osnabrück that is, to find a second one already. And what a massive swing in this game that would be. One goal, fine. You've got the lead, you're out ahead. Everybody knows it's the second goal of the match. That's the most vital. Whether it's a lack of a second goal or if it is scored, of course. Greilinger. Lex to toss it through. Moll. Biancari. Nothing comes from that. He's got some support. Deichmann helps him move things along, but the two can't connect cleanly. The idea was there. The execution needs to be worked on for the next time around. Side supporters have quieted down a little bit, but that won't deter them. They will certainly feel as if they still have a fighting chance in this one. And with results staying the way they are, as of right now that is, disregarding any other happenings, Osnabrück would be on 54 points at the moment. Munich would sit at 52, as they currently are. At the moment, Braunschweig still in a scoreless game. Of course, things can change at the drop of a hat, as this one is just barely tipped aside. A bit of a dribbler, but it certainly had a chance. And another look at it. Let's see how much Hiller actually got on this. Kunze gave it an effort. Why not? He had some space. It was close enough to the goal that the midfielder felt like he could make a difference, and he almost did. Earns his side a corner. See if they play it short. Decide to go into the box. Headed up and over, and this one is out for another corner. Opoku. Contact made, but leaning the wrong way. I believe that was Greilinger who got a piece of it. Strong challenge on Neudecker. He takes the brunt of it. Traore getting a bit aggressive, trying to win the ball back on the wing here. Deichmann. Flex wanted that one in the box. Miscommunication. Ganek. Kuhn. Just to go for distance, and that has not worked so far in this first half. Practically every time that they've gone back to the keeper and he's played it medium to long range, it has not ended up working for his side. As a matter of fact, has just allowed 1860 to get offensively something going, and Not going to be any kind of free kick or penalty from that. A strong and solid challenge on Lex. They've got to transition now, find their shape again. That's a poor ball. Yeah, almost there to intercept. That's what getting the line does for you. With Bear and Lex and Talik on the opposite wing coming in to support him and try and win the ball back. You make one mistimed or short pass back to your defense or to your goalkeeper, and all of a sudden it's off to the races. Hiller over to Kahya. Salger alongside him. Eichmann and Greilinger are filling out the wings. Nicely tipped on by Biancardi. Won't be able to gain possession back, but his side do earn the free kick, and they'll play it quickly into the box. Perhaps too quickly. Not everyone was set up and ready to go. Moll retains possession just for a moment. Bokuno flips it forward. A bit too much loft behind it, but a wonderful idea. Hyder saying, bring it down next time. Signalizing to go a little bit lower, and that would have been a real spring ball. There might have been room to actually play that one along the turf instead of lifting it over. Either way, we've got the benefit of a great view in hindsight. Opoku, wonderful tap for the captain Haida. Back to Opoku. The first touch was a bit off. Looked it towards the defender rather than away from him. And just like that, the offensive push fizzles out. Osnabrück have been certainly the more threatening side in the latter half of this opening half of football. The first few minutes looked like 1860 were really knocking on the door. Had a couple chances. Saber hitting the post, of course, on the bar. Bear off the bar. Biancardi had the chip that was deemed offside. And since those opportunities, the visitors have really taken control. They've got the more scary looking chances so far. And of course the goal to boot. Kuhn did have to make a couple stops earlier. But it was nothing too troubling. Midfield has been rather clogged up, and now Opoku for number 2. He's got it. No offside. Wonderful ball through. Kola with the delivery, if memory serves correct, and if my numbers and names add up. And Opoku completely blasts past the defense. Greilinger and Salger were nowhere to be found. And indeed it was. Kola with the ball through. And Greilinger a step behind. Hiller coming out. He had no choice, but he guessed poorly. Raised up the right leg when the left would have done more justice. And that's goal number 3 on the season for Aaron Opoku. Along with his 11 assists, he has been a vital member of the squad along the right wing. And that shows you why. Things have gone from bad to worse pretty quickly for the home side. Still plenty of time to make something happen here. You're really going to have to put forward a consistent effort to end the half here. That is the most important. I mentioned we'd see some goals. Figured it would be 1-1 going into the break. München can still get something back here, of course. There's plenty of time for that. The visitors have simply made their opportunities count. Bea along the wing, head up, decides to deliver this one into the box, and it's headed away from danger. Just for a moment, though, it's still in play. Neudecker, right back in the box they go, and that one poorly delivered, nobody in sight. Eichmann coming up to press. He's caught a bit out of position. Bea with the solid sliding challenge as that one sails up and out of play. How much does not having a manager change how your team plays? Ultimately, you'll hear it from pretty much anyone in charge. At the end of the day, it's about the players. You can put them in positions or give them a set of rules or formations to follow, but if you're not on your game, if you're not focused and put forward that 100%, you're going to lose regardless of who you've got. But at the same time, having someone that can take a more overall view, make adjustments on the fly, it's also very nice to have. There's a reason why there is someone in charge. Bea, oh, flicked on wonderfully. Defended even better by Traore there. Boxed out his man completely and effectively. I believe it was Talik who was making the run, and Traore was all over and around it. Up the other way, Opoku through the middle, and they can't cash that one in for number 3. What a half that would be, but there is still time to find that third goal. Klaas. Opoku. Back to Klaas. Wonderful ball. Kept in just barely. Ooh, looked like that was out, and indeed it was. What a well-played sequence of events there to free up some space for the midfielder. The visitors are certainly threatening goal number 3. There's no doubt about that. It could very well come down to goal difference if points are matched up. At the moment, it's the third spot, perhaps second to a certain extent, that these two teams are fighting to reach. FCK sit in second with 60 points at the moment. With this result the way it is, Osnabrück would be up to 54 points, just 5 behind Braunschweig, who currently sit in a 0-0 draw. Biancari through the middle. Talik with the shot, and it's in! A timely strike with the left foot, just clips its way on the inside of the post. Excellently taken. And the deficit is cut down to 1. Well, they would have preferred not to have conceded the second goal, but they'll take 1 no matter how it gets there. Hiller really had no opportunity there. The turn, the fire, the momentum carried him towards that far post. We've definitely got ourselves a game on our hands once again. Things look like they could have gone out of hand. But 1860, they refuse to let that happen. And the next goal, as usual, is the biggest goal of the game. Can we find one more before the half is through? Delivery in the box. Ooh, just behind Lex. He couldn't pull that one towards his body, and as a result, it's a throw. Bea. Another delivery. This one too low into the defense. Go back, all the way back to Belkaya and Salga. 4 minutes or so till the half is through. Of course, added time a factor. Shouldn't see more than 2 or 3 minutes though. It's been a rather free-flowing half of football. Always nice to see. And the transition from Osnabrück, this is where they've been dangerous in this game. Opoku back through the middle. Oh, nobody there to pick it up. But how quickly they move from their own third right into a scoring opportunity. It looked like about 3 passes before that one was zipped through from the winger. Biancardi. This one all the way back. Biancardi whistled for the off-ball foul. Miller out to play this one. Quite far out for the keeper to be taking it perhaps, but he'll drill this one deep. Or Kuhn rather, not Hiller. Cool. Tried to lay that one off for Klaas to run into. Nick. Plenty of loft behind this one. Making out for a goal kick. That's the idea here, but well defended from Greilinger. Haider almost won that one back for himself. Really couldn't have been a more timely goal for the home side in this situation. Biancardi whistled for offside this time. Well, he's made a few decent runs. Look for him to be a big factor in the second half. An entertaining 45 minutes, that's for sure. Let it not be said that there was no excitement or goals to be had. Very well could be a 2-2 half with a bounce going this way or that way. Certainly sets up an exciting final 45 minutes. Biancardi. Oh, poor pass. Bailed out a bit there by Salger, but his side are still on the back foot a bit here. Haider. Opoku. Oh, just past the outstretched foot. And that'll be it. 45 minutes in the books. No added time, really. As to be expected, it was a clean and free-flowing first half, which saw 3 goals. Not a bad tally so far. And we'll see how the second half goes. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for that, so stick around and find out.
Jetzt passt er doch mal. Durchkommen.
Welcome back, folks. Second half should be kicking off in just a few moments' time. 2-1 through 45 minutes of play, and what a 45 minutes it has been. A little bit of everything in this game. We've had some defensive efforts, we've had a couple saves, and most importantly, we've had a few goals. Started off in the 24th minute for the visitors from Osnabrück. As Haida got us off to the scoring start. Klaas provided with the assist on the opening goal. '35th minute, we got our second goal. It was a Poku after the wonderful ball in from Kohler. Left him one-on-one with the keeper, slotted it past him cleanly. And then we did get an answer from the home side, a much-needed one. In the 41st minute, Talik found himself in the box, turned, fired, and Biancardi set him up in the opportunity to cut the deficit to 1, make this a manageable affair in the second half. Coming into the second half, 2 goals down would have been quite a mountain to climb. But just the 1-goal deficit, things can always swing your way. Osnabrück coming in with a few substitutions into the second half. And why not? At this point, you've got yourself in a solid position. Anything you can do to shore up that advantage is the way to go. Fresh legs always help. Bea leads the way in scoring for his side. Tries to flick this one on towards the middle for Biancardi, but too many purple defenders in the way for Osnabrück. As Traore and Neudecker getting into a bit of a confrontation. Neudecker took exception to the challenge. Deichmann goes across the pitch entirely, ends up to Traore. Kleinhansel. Deichmann all over him. Pressure. Garnick. Back to Kuhn. Trap. Deichmann. Brought down, wants a foul, and he'll get it. And to be fair, Osnabrück shouldn't really change up all too much from the first half. If they sit back and allow the home side to come to them, it could really end up in a poor situation for them. Mol and Halig there. Halig will take this one, or Talig rather. Rolled out. Oh, a poor pass. Biancardi on target, but blocked away. Still in play. Lex is there. Lex chips it right back through. Still in the danger area. Talig can't get that one through. And a moment of held breath for Osnabrück and their supporters. So what in the world was Kuhn thinking here? He is very fortunate that Biancardi wasn't anywhere closer to the goal there. Might have fired that one right away instead of taking the second to tee it up for himself. All the way back to the keeper. Plenty of men forward for 1860 Munich. Anything other than 3 points is practically a defeat at this time of year, and with where they sit in the standings. And that goes for both sides. They won't be playing for draws. dropping even one of their last 5 matches. This one not included. This one is the 6th if we're going to count it. Would be a real blow to a top 3 finish. The top 2 will move on, and the 3rd will have to play for a spot in the 2nd division. Just as the bottom 2 will drop from the 2nd league, and the side that's 3 down will have to play to remain. Osnabrück not shying away from their offensive capabilities. More of the same, a patient build-up. It had its downsides at certain moments in the first half, but ultimately seems to be the way to go. They've got the lead. That's all you really care about. Strong challenge. Osnabrück will retain possession for themselves. A bit unnecessary from Talik, but necessary to stop the flow of play moving so quickly. Kuhn. Play it quickly. Time is of the essence. There's still 40 minutes to go. Traore getting the brunt of that ball. Still laying down just inside the box, and that'll cause a stoppage. Looks like he got it in the ribs. If that's the case, I can certainly understand his discomfort. Looks like he got that one square in the upper section of the rib cage. Well, if he hasn't cracked something, he's certainly out of breath. Seems to be all right, up and moving about a little bit. See if 1860 can get things rolling once again. Deichmann. Long ball from Deichmann. By the target. He gets it to him. Can't keep it inside the pitch. Defender does a good job to stop that opportunity. Moll straight at the keeper. That could have proven to be a bit difficult to deal with under other circumstances, but this time around Kuhn has got it, no problem. They are still pressuring. Deichmann. Long ball in from Deichmann, almost finds its way onto an unsuspecting Bear. Rapo. Opoku. Starts to go back to Traore. Traore will trot it up. Boko. Koenig. Klein gets involved. Trapp. Long ball finds its way onto Osnabrück feet. At least for now. Strong challenge. And a good challenge at that. And now a foot race the other way. Biancardi. Wonderful first touch. Keeps it down to himself. Walks in with stride. And that one just barely zips past the right post. Lex should have done better. Captain's been around. He's done it all. As he could just walk into this opportunity. And Biancardi has been a shining light for this side so far today. He's got his head up in that situation. Sees the play develop in front of his eyes. Lays it off in a great place. Osnabrück will continue to play it short. It does take up a bit more time. That's ultimately what they're after here. Put themselves in a place to earn the 3 points. Now they've got to go out and get them. Hiller. Kaya. Back to Hiller again. Eagle closing in. Never really threatening. Osnabrück are back on the offensive. For Poco and Traore couldn't get away with it there. Mole in the middle. Lex. Biancardi now. Talik with some space. Talik decides to go back towards Biancardi, but it's blocked away. And Deichmann's ball in. Does not have the height to get over any defenders. Mol to the wing. Neudecker. Blocked away, out of play. '57th minute. Solid ball in. Few players in and around the box. Falls down. Deichmann, his shot can't get through. Blocked away well. Biancardi. Deichmann on the wing. Deichmann's ball blocked away, and that'll be kept in. Looked like that one might have gone out. Talik. Across the box entirely. Yeah, and Lex in possession, or in position rather. Either side can get away with it. Wonderful challenge there in the midfield. Don't earn possession, but stops the play up for a moment. Polko having a word with Neudecker. Slow to get up. Dua to toss it in. Near wing attack, Kleinhansel. Koller. Wonderful ball. Bear to the right, and he's got it, the equalizer. Massive goal as 1860 Munich come back from 2 goals down. '15 goals on the season for Marcel Beer now. And that is a massive, massive goal in this game. Talik, excellent ball through, just past the defenders. Completely flat-footed on the back end is Trapp. And what a swing in this game. 2 unanswered goals from both sides, and we're back to where we started. A point apiece, but that's not going to be enough. The momentum fully in the hands of the home side, without a doubt. That's the way you want the second half to go. Within 15 minutes, you get yourselves the equalizer. Now you've got half an hour to go and win this, because that is the belief on the pitch at the moment. There is no doubt about that. And this sets us up for a heck of a finish here in Munich. Another couple subs coming on for Osnabrück. No changes as of yet for the home side, and why not? The momentum is with you at the moment, but things can change. Klaas along the wing, shot just rocketed well up into the stands. Not sure if he was leaning back a little bit, was he go? And that's what caused him to get under the ball so much. Neudecker's afternoon comes to a close. Dressel to take a spot. Dressel's been around. There won't be fall off there for the 23-year-old. He's got 15 goals in his third Liga career. He's been with 1860 Munich since 2007. His entire top-flight professional career. On the other side of things, Higo just factored in with that shot. That went a little bit high. Well, very high, I should say. This afternoon is over. Replacing him is Andrew Wooten. Wooten's been around quite a bit. 32-year-old has spent his time in practically every iteration of the Bundesliga and its subdivisions, ranging from the Regionala Südwest and West all the way up to the top flight of the Bundesliga. Spent some time in the Austrian league as well. Majority of his time spent in the second division. And what was then SV Sandhausen. Klaas getting a bit of a knock there, but shouldn't affect his pitch play too much, other than some discomfort. It's up to him and Wooten at the moment as the two front men to try and win back possession in an advantageous position. But Deichmann has other things on his mind. Deichmann moving up. Talik. It's the throw for his side. Quick little ball in, doesn't work out. Mol can't make the challenge work either. It's a foot race now, Klaas. Loses his footing on the ball itself. Won't be any stoppage in play for that. Mol. Biancari. Puts it in space. Geilinger can walk into it. He's completely hounded by Traore. It's a good job defensively at poking it away. Kaya. Mol. Will blast this one out. Mol wins it cleanly. Over to Deichmann. Plenty of space to run with on the right wing here. Biancari through the middle. Back to Deichmann. Has Lex on the right. Or Bear rather. But it'll be a corner upcoming after the block. Lex can't get it on target. Lex, the follow-up can't be slotted through. Flew right past Deichmann. Not sure he was expecting that one. As Talik will knock that one up as high as he possibly can. Buys himself and his team time. But Kleinhansel and company are moving up quickly. Kohler. Kleinhansel now on the wing. A wonderful tap. The shot was set up beautifully for Opoku. But the defense comes to save the day in the nick of time. Still with the visitors. Looking to build back a little confidence for themselves. They got off to the 2-0 lead in this game before allowing the two uncontested goals. Unreplied, I should say. They were certainly contested. Although you could argue the second one may have been a bit less so. With Bear's strike. Bear in the box. Still a chance here. Talik gets a bit of it, but doesn't fall favorably for him. And Osnabrück will clear the danger. Klaas tries to make a run for it, but it's well out of his reach. So about 5-6 minutes ago, Deichmann had the opportunity. It just came in too quickly for him. As the captain Lex tried to find somebody to finish off the sequence. Easier said than done. Kohler. Finds Opoku. Opoku gets away from the defender. Opoku still going. Can't get that one through the middle. Timely defensive stance there. From Greilinger. Another look at it here. Just gets himself involved at the right time. There with the block to save the opportunity. Low corner, still up for grabs. Kleinhansel, depossessed. albeit just for a moment. They'll go out for a goal kick. Minutes remain. Of course, added time a factor. But just like the first half, this one has moved along rather smoothly. Apart from Traore taking a few moments earlier after getting that ball in the ribs. Stoppages have been few and far between, which is what you want to see, of course. And there's not much between the score either. Level at 2. In what has been a swinging match so far, and 2 unanswered in the first half for the visitors. And the home side, 1860, come back with 2 of their own to knot it up here. It's just about 10 minutes ago that the equalizer came through. Still going, doing it all on his own. Can't find the final pass. It will be out for a corner. Something to smile about. For a throw, rather, not a corner. Alternating pressing force. A bit dangerous to be toying around here in your own end like that. A bit of a dive there from Bea. From this angle at least, didn't look like he was touched at all. He earns his side the free kick, and that's what's important. Well, from here, you've got to think it's a ball into the box rather than on target. Would be quite a strike to curl this one into the near post. Talik. Klaas comes away with it after all of that. Opoku up on the wing. Opoku through the middle. Oh, just past the outstretched leg of his teammate. As Bappo was ready and waiting to deliver that one towards the net. This one overshoots Traore a little bit, but he does keep it in. And it goes to him there. Bea takes another collision. They've been an elbow up high as the two were contending for that aerial challenge. Certainly the longest stoppage we've had today. Good to see him up and moving, though. He will have to take a moment onto the sidelines before rejoining the play. Well, so far, this has been, as the scoreline suggests, a pretty even game. Possession is about 50-50. 3 shots on target compared to 4. Of the 4 shots on target in favor of Osnabrück. So how will these last 20 minutes or so play out? That's where we will find out. Which side will have the better opportunity of making it to the top 3? The chance is not completely gone if you drop this game, but it does rely even more on other factors. And at the moment, Braunschweig winning their match, so that puts them in 2nd in the 3rd division. They overstep FCK, Kaiserslautern. At the moment, Magdeburg sit at the top. That looks to remain unchanged, barring some crazy results down this last stretch of games. Braunschweig, FCK, and then Munich and Osnabrück sitting in the 4th and 5th spots respectively, as both sides earn a point with the current result. A win would change that, of course, put Munich up to 55 and Osnabrück up to 54 with those results. Still 2 games in terms of winning behind FCK and Braunschweig. It's a start. Can't understate the importance of this particular matchup, though. This is your direct competition, along with Saarbrücken and Waldhof to a certain extent. As to who will really contend for that 3rd spot. And winning the head-to-head matchup. Well, number 1, you get the points, which is great. Number 2, you beat your direct competition. That's a morale boost. Klaas can't get through. Excellently defended and cleared. But a bit too quick on the run there. Whistle for offside. Munich will play this one along, not allowing any time to tick away, really. But it does bring up an interesting point. Wins are all that's really going to matter and really make the difference. Do you continue to press forward despite this draw? Oof. Opoku can't get it done and off the line. Not sure if that was cleared. It looks like a goal so far, though. Everything in the nick of time. And at the moment, it looks like a goal. And Osnabrück are right back out in front where they wanted to be, where they believe they deserve to be coming into this game. Klaas with the ball through. Passes through everyone. Opoku gets trampled on a little bit, and oh yes, clearly across the line. Deichmann did what he could. Hiller was well away from the play. That one gets him right between the wickets as well. And Hiller. Why was he on that side of the pitch for so long? Opoku took the challenge. The play was made. And just like that, things flip right back around for Osnabrück as we're into the final 10 minutes. And I was just saying, when do you go for the win? Do you decide at some point to take the tie? We get a point that's better than none. That was a tough goal to call. Fourth official did make the decision though, saying yes, it did indeed cross the line. Deichmann didn't argue it that much either. That usually gives you a pretty good indication. And Lukas Kunze, one of these substitutes for Osnabrück, coming in just a few moments ago. I believe it was about 10-12 minutes ago that those substitutions were made at this point. Has come on and made a massive difference. But it's not over yet. Talik. Expect to see pretty much everyone and the kitchen sink coming forward for 1860. You can live with a draw, but a loss is devastating to how you would like your season to end. That's definitely a cross. Real time happened so quickly. It's tough to tell if it was cleared off or not, but that replay gives us a great look at it. Clear as crystal. Third goal. Osnabrück back in charge. They were in this position for a few minutes earlier in the game. They held the lead until the 59th minute when Marcel Bier tied it all up at 2. Had to wait another 20 minutes before we found our next goal. Well worth it, as Kunze makes it a 3-2 game now. This is the time where you make your money, that's for sure. This is what it's all about. These game-changing goals at the end of the match. Yeah, mistimes the ball in the air. It's going to be cleared down simply and effectively. Wooten is there, but it's a bit behind the play. Things move along quickly for 1860 Munich. And they have to. Moll. Up the wing, quickly through the middle. He's looking for Biancari, but the pass was off the mark. Vapo. Klaas. Kleinhansel. Back to Trapp. And Kuhn will send it down the distance. Gara. Eichmann now. Biancari stops up. Gets around Apple, but support from Biancari does its job. Lex will be coming off. The captain's afternoon is done. Linsbichler will be taking his spot. Needs some fresh legs out there. Lex had some chances in this game. The one that went just a bit wide right of the post a few minutes ago comes to mind. At this point, it would have been more than a few minutes ago. Some of the opportunities get muddled together. You never quite remember what time exactly it was. But with 5 minutes to go, it's now or never. Granted, there again, still 5 games for each side after this match. Osnabrück coming up with a substitution. Klaas's afternoon comes to a close. He's been pretty vital in the midfield. Klaas for Haas. Manuel Haas hails from Austria, 25 years old. In all the games he's played in his professional career, still hasn't found a goal. Will this be the day? Probably not. But you never know. More of a facilitator than a scoring machine. Not everyone can put the ball in the net after all. Now it's time for time wasting if you're Osnabrück. And for Munich, you just want to get the ball back as quickly as possible and rush up the pitch. Nothing too spectacular about that. Deichmann. Biancardi now. Forced to go back into his own attack, or into his own defensive third. Allows Hiller to trot up a little bit. Interesting to see if we get the keeper coming up a bit more as this one gets closer to the 90. Kleinhansen. Just to go back to the keeper. Why not? It's a few seconds off the clock. Clarence will do that as well. They played along though. No time to take your time. As we've got just 2 minutes to go till the 90's up. Probably see about 3 minutes or so. Maybe 4 minutes of added time. Depending on how this result fares, of course. Opoku in a foot race, but he can't beat the last man back. Benkaya has had himself a decent enough game. And Munich get themselves a free kick in a decent enough area. As Haas tries to argue his case, but he did get a shirt full in the fist there. And Guganik doing the right thing, getting Haas to focus up his play rather than argue his case over a simple foul. Yes, it's in a position where you could make something happen. Let's see if we've got any magic here. Talik, and that one's up and over. I suppose it was worth an opportunity. Worth a go from that distance. And now it's all about the added time. Not much time left on the clock for Munich to get right back into this, get themselves a point back. Or will Osnabrück be the ones knocking on the door of the top three instead? Offsides. Now we wait to see how many minutes will be added on. Poku being told to move on to the sideline. As Otua will be taking his spot for the final few minutes here. Poku had himself a wonderful afternoon, an assist, a goal. Factored in throughout the entire game. Perhaps would have liked to have been out there for the last few minutes, but a substitution buys you a bit more time, some fresh legs to go into the corner and delay the inevitable for 1860 Munich even more. At the moment, Osnabrück doing a wonderful job of delaying things even more. Should have another opportunity or two, depending on how quickly things can roll along for the home side. But it's really getting down to the last chance saloon here. Expect them to go long balls from here on out. And if there's any sort of set piece scenario, expect the goalkeeper to be involved. Deichmann, back to Hiller. Hiller has no choice but to thump this one right back down. Saarbrücken doing well defensively of clearing the line. Biancardi, leave it for Deichmann to toss in. Minute and a half to go. Solid block there. Wooten's the lone man forward for Osnabrück. He's going to challenge Hiller. Won't get there in time, of course. It's just to force the play to move along quicker. Not that Munich would take their time in this scenario. It's looking very dangerous for a counter here. Apo taken down. That'll be a card for sure. No doubt about it. Just the yellow. Wasn't the last man back. Apo taking a solid confrontation there. That's a great time to win a free kick. At this point, well, there's two schools of thought. You either take the free kick deep like this, loft it down, or you go for goal. They opt for the first one, and that's going to be a yellow for Biancardi. Strong challenge. Caught him clean on the boot there. Biancardi, despite that, has had himself a solid game, but it wasn't enough as his side cannot climb back. For the second time, that is. It started off with 2 goals for the visitors. Haida with the opener, Opoku with the second. That came in the 35th minute. the response from Talik just before the half came to a close. And then it looked like an entirely different game. Marcel Bär got ourselves the equalizer in the 59th minute. But then, in the nick of time, Kunze, the midfielder, makes his presence felt along the entire length of the pitch with a timely strike for the 3-2 result that we see at the moment. Now, don't discount Munich entirely. Coming back from 2 goals down, even if it's at home, is nothing to scoff at. But the resilience of Osnabrück to stick with their game plan, have that same winning mentality that they had in the first half despite giving up 2 unanswered, and what looked like might have been a turn of the tide in this game for the home side to steal away the 3 points becomes fruitless as they walk away with nothing, and Osnabrück make themselves just a few steps closer to a top 3 finish. There's still 5 games to go, and that's plenty of time for things to change, but for tonight they can celebrate their 3 points in a massive victory over 1860 Munich. Thanks for tuning in to tonight, or this afternoon's game. Not a night game. We started at 2. It's almost 4 o'clock, so enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Have a wonderful day.